praise you. We bless your holy name. Great is your name, Yahweh. 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 You are the great I am. Yes, you are. You are the great I am. Yes, you are. You are the great I am. Yes, you are. You are the great I am. Great is your great is your name. Great is your great is.
And welcome to Roundtable Talk with Reverend Faith. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm so happy to be back in the studio. It has been a few days, but I am here and strong, and God has been faithful as usual. And I'm glad that you are joining me on this Roundtable Talk. This afternoon, I have a special guest with me and an amazing testimony that God has been working in the life of this young man, and the work that he has done has been phenomenal, and how he has impacted the life of other people. And I can't wait to introduce him to you. The work that he does will surprise you, and I think you just need to hang around and to listen to the testimony and the work that God has done. I think He will edify you, it will strengthen you, and He will build you up in your faith in believing that God is amazing, and that through various situations, God is present. God shows His strength, His power, and that He will transform your life if only you allow Him to. So this afternoon, I just want to introduce you to Dr. Deji Yusuf. Sorry, I got it a bit wrong.
That's okay.
Dr. Deji, how are you this afternoon?
I'm good. I'm better than yesterday.
Amen, amen. Well, Dr. Deji, I'm going to read his bio for you. He's an honorary doctorate in advocacy. He's a burn survivor with 35 burns to his body. He's the founder of Scars to Scar Initiative, an award-winning author of several books, including From Pain to Purpose, The Scar That Changed My Life. He's a minister, an author, life coach, and a motivational speaker. He's qualified trainer, a qualified practitioner in the UK, and he's a book consultant. If you want to write your book and you need someone to guide you and help you and mentor you through the process, then he's the man to speak to. So you can find him on Facebook, Dr. Deji Yusuf. And today we just want to talk about his initiative to help other people. And his initiative is called Scars to starsinitiative.com, and he's on Facebook, he's also on Instagram, and we'll have the details at the end of the program on our page, and you can go and check it out. But this afternoon, I just want to say welcome, Dr. Deji.
Thank you so much.
And I'm happy to have you, even though we are in isolation. I wasn't sure we were going to have this program, but I'm glad that you're here because your testimony is powerful, and I want you to tell us, how did you come to this life of having to live with scars, which is not an easy thing to do?
No, it's not, and that's why I set up the initiative we'll be talking about. It's because of my past experiences and even the ongoing situation right now, and that's what inspired me. Therefore, I can use my experience to inspire other people.
So what is the experience? How did you get your burns?
Well, at the age of 14, it was a house fire accident.
So it was a house fire accident. Wow.
So
Okay.
I was in the house all by myself, and in the midnight I was gonna do my assignment. So the electric went off, the electricity, I think because the emergency run out the key.
Okay.
So
that was the time of the old keys.
Yeah, the time of the old keys. Yeah. So I went downstairs to check. Oh, what's going on, man? I need to do my assignment. I've got something my homework tomorrow. what I did was I found a candle just by the kitchen. So I took it out, light it up, and then I was using it to do the assignment.
Oh, wow.
So then, as I was doing it, I think I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, I woke up and realized that everywhere was on fire.
Wow.
You know, and I was panicked.
Okay. Yes.
I was panicked. I was really, really scared. I was scared, like, my goodness, what's, you know, like, am I gonna die? Because I thought I was gonna die.
Wow.
That's what I thought. So the neighbors, they woken up and they were like, "Oh, stay there. We've called you an ambulance. We know what's going on. You know, we've called you an ambulance." Oh,
And the house was burning. You were there on your own.
In there in the room on my own.
Oh my God! So what happened? Your
shouting
parents had just gone to work, or what happened?
You know, that's what happened.
Okay.
You know, my mom, and you know, I grew up with my mom, so you know, and I was just shouting, but I couldn't bear the heat because my hands, they were already burning and my body was on fire.
Wow.
So what I did was I broke the window with my hands, then I jumped out from 4th floor.
Wow. So
So-
you were in a tower block.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
Like a house estate. Yeah. So I just, you know, and I jumped out, and you know, as soon as I jumped out, I felt with my foot. Then I just like flat, and then eventually I fainted. And the ambulance came and took me away, and you know, I spent 3 months in the hospital. You know, another 3 months in. You know, 3 months on life support machine, intensive care.
Oh wow.
Another 3 months was more like, you know, helping me to work, helping me to use my hands, and yeah, so it was really intense.
It was intense.
Yeah.
So you found yourself on fire in the middle of the night whilst you were studying your assignment, and you woke up because your body was burning, or you woke up because you smelled the fire, or what woke you up?
I don't know, it must be God. I mean, because everyone kept saying, like, even the smoke is enough to kill you.
Yeah.
So it must be God that woke me up, because I was just like, oh my God, everywhere was just...
The whole room was in
The
fire.
room was on fire, you know, like everywhere. I couldn't see, I barely see anything.
You didn't even know where the door was.
I didn't even know where the door was
Wow.
because it was just too much smoke. So I woke up, I think, oh my God, like, no. But as a child or as a teenager, I had this mindset, I'm not going to die. But for some reason, I think teenagers always don't think, you know. So I thought, I'm not dying yet.
I'm not dying anywhere. No, I'm not dying, no.
So,
But that's
yeah,
very
my
courageous
God,
for you to
yeah.
just break the window and jump out of a 4th-story building. I mean,
Yeah.
what? You didn't even think twice, because is it because of the pain that you jumped off, or is it just
Yeah.
because you kind of thought, I'm not staying in here, without even, because at that time were you conscious that your body was burning? Were you conscious
Yeah,
that you were actually on fire?
I was, because
Okay.
everything I touched was just so hot. You know, I had an iron board just next to my bed where I used to iron, and it was like a metal, you know, with the board on top. As soon as I touched it, it was just too hot.
Too hot.
The wall, everywhere was just too hot to even touch.
But that
it.
means that if everything in the room was so hot, you must have been in the room for a long time, and you still inhaling all these fumes, and you still didn't die.
Oh yeah, I tell you, man. Like, you know, that's why I thought maybe coronavirus is not getting to me right now. Coronavirus.
So if fire hasn't killed you, coronavirus is not gonna
if
kill
fire
you.
hasn't killed this man, coronavirus.
Oh, what a testimony! But you think
No
your testimony today is that God was in the room with you, and he helped you out. He
yes.
woke you up and
He
helped
woke
you
me
out.
up, yeah, miraculously, you know. I
Wow!
don't
But
know
even jumping out of the 4th-story
Yeah.
building and not,
Yeah.
so did you break any bones?
I mean, that's what was very shocking for the doctors, the consultants, because they had to send someone back there to check, you know, like, is it true that this young man, this boy jumped out from 4th floor? Is it true? So they went there and they was like, oh yeah, it's true. Like, you know,
He broke the
house
window
was-
and jumped out.
And jumped out. So even the people, the neighbors, they thought I was dead. You know, the time I went back there, and was like, what?
You're still
How
alive.
could someone, they told that this guy jumped out from this top building and we saw the destruction of the whole house. So this man still made it.
Wow.
So it was like when I went around there, everyone just gathered around me. I was like, wow, this was something else. Well, thank God.
So you went to hospital, and how? So when you got to hospital, obviously the doctors looked after you, and you. How many days were you in intensive care?
I was in intensive care for 3 months. There was time that the doctor was like, "Oh, I don't think he's gonna make it. It's just."
So did they have to put you in a coma for a little while?
Put me, in that, from what I was told, I was in coma. And when I was in coma, all I could see was people walking around. I didn't, I knew there was something around my mouth or something, but I could see around me people, walking around, but I just couldn't respond. So yeah, it was a great experience.
And during that time, when did you feel the presence of God around you, talking to you, helping you?
Yes, I mean, I did have, God, God was just, I was on, I think when I was lying down, I was on a scooter, like flying around the whole place. But then when I got to one, I think one power, one road, someone just appeared to me and sent me back. So I think that was the time I woke up. So I guess that must be God. Yeah.
So you think that you probably were flying or going towards heaven, if we can call it that, and then when you got there, someone stopped you and said it's not your time, you have to go back.
Yeah,
and from that time onwards, you woke up.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. From that time, I woke up
and so when the I would assume the angel sent you back, you started recovering. Is it from that time onwards that you started recovering, or is it just before that you started recovering?
I mean, after that, that's when I started recovering because, burns, it takes time to fully, I don't think there's a total recovery.
Okay.
And that's one of my quotes that, is on the website. There's nothing like total recovery. It's a journey that is everyday battle. But you have to choose to be the strongest. I think that's one of my quotes, actually, that says that, there's nothing like total recovery. It's you that have to keep developing your mind and say that you can do this every day. So for some reason, I'm a confident person, but this morning I woke up, I felt I don't want to wear a t-shirt. I want to wear nice shirt, but today I just thought, you know what, I'm going on TV and I want to talk about my story. Why don't you wear a t-shirt where people can see your scars?
See your scars, yeah.
So when I was in the car, I took off my jacket and then just got, my t-shirt. So
how are you living with the scars today? How is that impacting your faith on a daily basis? Because it can't be easy to have the look of people every day upon your head, looking at you and not necessarily giving you a nice smile.
Yes, they don't. I mean, given that I'm also a big guy, we live in should I say, most of the populations are white, of white ethnicity. Being a big black man, he has his own stereotype on his own.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, have scars. So, I do get judgmental attitude from people. But I just say to myself, I'm gracious. Remember to be gracious. So sometimes I want to react negatively to stares. I want to react negatively to people judging me funny. But I just walk away and say, remember to be gracious.
Yeah.
And so it's just
so how is the look of people impacting your mindset every day when you wake up, and how is that, because you didn't become this strong straight away, it took you on a journey?
Yeah, definitely. It took me on a journey where I used to isolate myself, growing up. My mom tried, because most of the experiences, most of the impact, she had to bear the burden because, every day she used to go to market to buy me cloth to cover the scars on my neck.
Okay.
So she used to wear, summertime I used to wear like turtleneck just to cover the scars on my body, long sleeves. Even in summertime I used to wear gloves, and even that did not help because even
People
at the
see
time
you as a
people
stranger.
still see me as being weird. That's what it's called. It's weird. So it did have some level of impact on my social skills. And my view.
Okay.
In terms of relating.
So you started isolating yourself?
Yeah. So I started isolating myself. I started to what else did I used to do? Cover my body. If if I want to go out, wear jumpers even in summertime.
Did you have any friends to help you?
No, not initially. I had
Okay.
families around me, and that's
So what
why,
happened to the friends that you grew up with?
some of them I left them, back home because I came here when I was 13.
Okay.
So some of them I left them back home, but unfortunately, 6 months after I came to this country, that's when I had the accident.
Ah, okay.
So I've not really made that much
That
friends.
many friends,
Yeah,
okay.
that many friends before the accident happened. So, so it did affect, friendship as well because, as a child or teenagers, they don't want to be around someone that is different. That's the time everyone, want to go out, want to socialize, want to, where people care a lot about their looks, about their physical appearance.
Yeah.
So you being different, they see you as being weird. So in a way, it did impact on my have a lot.
It must have been very hard because being new in the country, adapting to a new country, adapting to a new way of life, and having to do all of that with the scars and having to dress weird, act weird, and going to school at a time when you are at a teenager year when everybody wants to show off and to now come out with their own character and their own way of thinking, and then suddenly you having to live life with this. It couldn't have been very easy.
It wasn't easy because I remember, I failed my GCSE 3 times.
Wow.
Not that because I wasn't intelligent, but because I had social anxiety where, when teachers, were teaching or, I would be thinking of something else. I'll be thinking of people looking at me and I wouldn't write what the teacher is talking about. So because of that, I failed my GCSE 3 times.
Wow.
So, until I worked on my mind and I passed on my 4th attempt. So
it really impacted your psychological...
psychological, emotional, all that bonds or scars, they do affect all those areas of.
But was church a place for you where you got comfort?
Church again is a social gathering.
So people were still judging?
People will still judge you. We're all humans. I describe church as clinic, but having a pastor like a one-to-one did help.
Okay.
So I had a mentor at the time that used to just come to me and pray and but because anywhere there's a social gathering, then there will be judgments of also, and even when people are not judging you, one could be judging himself or herself, like, oh, people don't like me, or people are looking, maybe like, they don't want me here. So this is what is called social anxiety that people living with scars do experience.
So now we're going to moving from your teenage years. How did you then become this person that we see today? What work did you have to put into yourself to come out of this an insecure, depressed young teenager who everybody looked at as a weird boy?
Yeah. A lot of people see what I'm doing now and like, I know that boy. I knew that man when we were in school. He was very quiet and different from what he's doing now. So, it's just, I would say that my faith did help as well. Praying, as a major influence on the person that I am today. And also developing myself personally, professionally, it has a major impact on the person I am today because, I mean, like I said, I failed my GCSE 3 times. Then when I passed my fourth attempt, I went to college. I became the best student of the year. I won an award in college. Then when I went to uni, I came out, I achieved first class. So my journey has been like from prison to palace. You could say that I've been in prison, then God just showed me my strength. So being able to identify my strength did also help with my identity. That this is who I am. Yeah, I may have scars, but I got something. So and also, like I said, my faith, my knowing my strength, and also with the support of my family, it does up as well. And yeah, so everyone put their input one way or the other to become who I am today. So if anyone is watching and you've been a great friend.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for helping him on his journey. But you went from doing really well at university, and you're a father.
Yeah.
So how did you then get into Scars to Stars? Obviously, I know that you must have had a career like everybody else, but this initiative that you started, why did it come to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, where I did my placements, I was inspired by the owner. She's from Zimbabwe, so she has a story, that she shares around as well, and this was because she was raped as a girl,
Yeah, girl,
as a child. So she developed an initiative where now in UK, she get a lot of funding. She's a social worker as well, so she's working in her office as an independent social worker, helping victims of domestic violence and victims of FGM and all that. So I thought, hold on, come on, you've got story too, and why don't you, when you complete your course and you're working as a social worker, you could actually reach out to
Other people too.
living with scars like yourself. So that's how God showed me that this is what I want you to do, and because I feel that God could actually show you what to do through other people, through environment, through your passion.
Yeah.
So that's how Scars to Stars initiative started. I just picked the name and ran with it. I started within a month. I raised £1,000 for it.
Oh, amazing.
So so I just.
So when you were going through your troubles, did you find an organization like yours to help you? Was there anybody there for you?
No, there were, but I thought it was just more for. It's not mainly. There's nothing like that for BME group. So it was more like, white people organization. So when I go there, I couldn't really afford
Relate or
fit in. That. So that again kind of pushed me back or hindered me from going forward. And my mom, maybe bless her, she could have helped me, like encouraged me to go for it. But my mom was like, oh, he's an African boy, he's so strong, so
he will be fine. Typical,
so,
yeah.
So
we overcome everything because we're African, I know.
So my mom didn't push me to say, you need this sort of, mental and emotional support. But bless her, she's happy that I'm doing the initiative now.
Amen.
So,
Amen. Yeah. So your initiatives, when did you launch it? You said to
2018. August.
Wow.
2018,
okay, and you were able to raise £1,000 just like that.
Yeah, for just the magazine.
Wow.
We're looking to launch it properly this year.
So you are producing a magazine for just the people who've scarred, or people who are the families as well, to support families?
Yes, I mean we do. The first edition was getting people to share their experience in the magazine, just raising awareness of how we feel, what our experience is as someone living with scars, and also it touch on people with other visible differences like vitiligo, you know, they too got to share their story in the magazine as well. And we do talk about, you know, share some articles in there why employers should be actually employing people with scars, you know. So that's for the first edition. The second edition that I'm working on now, me and, you know, few people like the team that we're working on will focus on our social skills, how living with scars actually affect our even our intimate relationship or social relationship, family relationship, how, you know, living with scars could also affect. So that's what we're working on now, where you know, people will voice out and say this the impact that it has on one's mental, emotional, and social health and development. Yeah.
So how are you helping people today? What does Scars to Stars do to help people with scars?
Okay, yeah. So Scars to Stars initiative is about empowering people living with scars to turn their scars into stars.
Okay.
We create opportunities in terms of giving them award once they achieve, that will boost their confidence and, you know that they're being recognized. That will help them to proceed forward to achieve more. We also, you know, provide counseling sessions whereby we match you up with someone that you feel more comfortable with. We counsel you online or offline, and you know, just making sure that your voice is heard and you feel listened to and you feel valued as human. That will also help you as well. Just befriending services online, which I do that all the time when I meet people living with scars. Hi, how you doing? You okay? How's it going?
Keeping track with them to making sure they're okay.
Making sure they're okay. You know, support group. We have a support group on Facebook where people share their experiences, you know, and then other people could respond with comments. This is how I'm coping. This is the coping mechanism that's working for me. You know, when people stare at me, just remind that you're beautiful. You know, so remind yourself that you're beautiful. These are some of the things that, you know, we're opportunities that we're providing for survivors. Yeah, and so raising awareness of bullying, because bullying is, you know, I had it. You know, one of the reasons why I failed GCSE is not because of you know, self-rejection alone, but because obviously I was also bullied
In school.
in school, like people, you know, talking about you, calling you names. So we also aim to go to schools to do workshops and on bullying, to educate children on why they should be a buddy, which is a friend, rather than being a bully. Yeah, so we'll be doing.
So the work in the school is, I'm a teacher, so I love, you know, whenever those kind of things are told to the children, because I think it's very important, especially in this time and day and age, that children understand that it's not because you have a disability or because you're a different color or because you're a different sex or because you have scars today, we're talking about, that, that they're allowed to just say anything and bully over people. And I think it's a work that the parents also have to be involved with, to make sure that they build that self-esteem in the children so that they don't voice their anger or their dislike of other people. But it's good that you're going to the schools and helping out in that sense, for people to accept people who are different.
Acceptance,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about visible differences and, you know, accepting one another and being a body rather than being a bully. So these are some of the things that we promote, and just to promote inclusion. So I mean, it's a privilege to serve people living with scars. You know, there was, you know, a few days ago I got an email from a lady that, you know, got her scars through, you know, DV as well, domestic violence.
Wow.
So it's amazing. I mean, to know that these stories, that people actually got their scars, acid attack, you know, punch or stabbings, you know, via DV. So, you know, it's amazing, you know, like these whole stories that we do here and the kind of clients we support.
So how do they live with their scars today? I mean, it must be very difficult. You're counseling obviously young young people to adult. So the problems are different from. I mean, the young children probably is fire or something that's happened to them, to domestic violence. I think that's a big and broad subject in the sense of how many people get affected with the scars when it comes to society. So how do you help them come out of the depression and the self? Don't want to say hatred, but the low self-esteem of them. What do you counsel them to do?
I mean, like with people, we sort of assess them. We have this Cast to Stars assessment framework, which sort of assess their education level, assess their emotional and mental well-being, assess the sort of resources that they're into, like they have access to like community resources such as gym, shops and all of that, like support centers around them. So we assess all of that, and then what we do is that we create a unique action plan with them, whereby we work in partnership with them. We sort of create an action plan, and if it's someone else doing it, if it's not me doing that assessment, the person has to show it to me. Do we actually have these resources? Do we have this time for us to achieve all the goals in that action plan? So some of the plans could be counseling. This person will need like maybe once or twice counseling to make the person more confident, or the person will need some sort of confidence coaching, one-to-one confidence coaching, like where we teach them about affirmations, where we teach them about building their resilience and all of that resilience sort of work to build and develop that. So we kind of assess them based on what their needs will be. And most of the time during coaching, most people have answers to their problem.
Yeah.
So it's about having someone to keep them accountable and keep them on track to make sure that they do it. And that's where we sometimes come in.
So you mentor them and you follow them through the time of recovery and even after. So you become a buddy.
A buddy, rather than being a bully.
Yes, rather than being a bully. But it's true. But how is the government helping in this initiative in terms of, maybe first of all, in funding?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got any, any sort of funding from government.
Okay.
We're still yet to apply. But we have people, partners that they think is a great initiative, although it's still a slow process. But I believe that even those watching right now, they will see this as an important or initiative that will benefit the BMA community, even the community at large.
At large, yeah.
That will benefit the community, and then show their support by donating some funds.
So how can people donate to your association?
I mean, we got website www.cast2starsinitiative.com. They can always go there. There's a donate button. They can always click on it and they can donate if they do. And we also have different merchandise. We have jumpers. We have art, just like I've one. People can buy the merchandise for their son, for their children. And the jumpers are very, very authentic. They're very creative. They could buy that just to support the organization as well. And in any way they could support us, even if they want to volunteer and say, I want to be an ambassador, and they could say, okay, as an ambassador, you just need to do is, share our status sometimes, share our posters sometimes, like tell people about it, and that's the work of an ambassador. Represent us. If we have an event, you could come and say, okay, what can I do? I would like to speak at your event, or I would like to do this at your event. I would like to, if you're a photographer, you can say, I would like to take the coverage of people living with scars. Maybe that could earn you some money. I've seen, some organization where all they do is take pictures of people with scars and they portray it, put it in gallery, and people buy it off them. So, like many ways from volunteering, and you could actually, be benefiting as well.
Okay. So what's I know that you've written a book, so tell us about your book.
I mean, I've written From Pain to Purpose.
Pain to Purpose, okay.
Yeah, so, that one is not just for people with scars, the book of faith, where I talk about how God, has planned for everything that we go through. God has, specialized in turning pain into purpose.
Yeah.
That, when you look back, whatever you've been through, like divorce, if it's one thing or the other, God, there's a reason why that why that happened, and God just wants you to rise and look at, if you look within yourself and look up and have faith and help other people. So yeah, that's what God does. He specializes in turning people's pain
Turning
to purpose.
people's
And that book just shares steps of revelation, because it includes some Bible scriptures as well. Revelation on how you can actually take that step of faith to actually turn your pain into purpose. So that's what the book is about. It's more, it shares a lot of Christian perspective.
So in this world of isolation, where people have lost their relatives, people are suffering, people died in hospital, how would your book help them in this season?
In this season, a lot of people that have lost their relatives, their loved ones, I'm sure that, it's a hard, pill, it's a very painful pill to swallow, but I'm going to encourage them, this time of grieving will pass. Eventually, God will show you why. I was looking at another organization which is similar to us. They're based in America, and they had house fire accident as well. So it was like four people in there, their family. So 4 people in there. One of their son died.
Wow.
And from that, they turned it into a family foundation whereby they help children that are born survivor. So the boy is called Ryan. So they now name it after they named the foundation after the boy, and they call it Ryan, their surname, and then the foundation. So they name it, and what they do is they go to camp with children every year. I think once or twice a year they go and they teach children about personal development, children that have experienced burns. They even invite all professional like fire brigades to them as well to empower the children. So so that's how God turned people's pain into purpose. By doing that, they're fulfilling a sense of purpose in their life, and they feel more fulfilled that every loss is a gain. Every loss is a gain. Every loss is a gain. So I want to urge everyone. I know that this season, this pandemic season that we are, is big crisis taking lives. A lot of people are in hospitals, but I urge you that these too shall pass. You just got to stay strong, and very sooner or later you're gonna see everything as a gain, because all things work together for our good, for them that love God and are called according to His purpose.
Amen, amen. So, Scars to Stars, we're looking at what's the future?
Yeah, the future is, obviously taking it to all over the world. Take it to Nigeria, take it to some few places in Africa as well. Help more people with scars. Have an office, have more ambassadors, have more volunteers, have social workers, students coming to our office to do placements.
You were talking about the Stars, Scars to Stars fundraising show that you're thinking of planning for this year after this isolation.
Yeah, I mean, after the whole stay-home order has been lifted, we're planning a Star Award where we're going to give awards to those living with scars that have achieved. These are achievers. The people that have written book. There's a lady, Kizzy Brookwell, I know you're watching. If you're watching, you're going to have your award as soon as you finish your book. We're working on your book. When you complete that, we're going to announce you as the author, all right? And we're going to present you with Star Award, all right? So these are for achievers.
Okay.
Anyone that achieves their dream, and you've got scars on your body, or you've been through DV, and you have emotional scars of all sorts, if you qualify for it, you're nominated for it, then you would...
so what do they have to do to... you set the target and they have to meet it, or...?
No. they can, as long as we get nomination from the public, if you have someone living in scars and or been through so much struggles in their life, like emotional scars that you feel that this person has emotional scars, been through some sort of divorce, and that these emotional scars too do exist. We don't see it, but it's there.
But it's there.
So you know that this person deserves this award just because they've been through struggle. Despite all that, this person managed to go to uni. Despite all this person managed to set up a business. Despite all this person managed to set up our ministry. That this person definitely deserves a star award. That's what star award is for. Those are the targets.
So if you know anybody who is living with scars, whether it's physical or emotional, then we invite you to contact Dr. Deji and let him know that there is someone in your community who deserves to be rewarded for having gone through great pain, but still by faith has managed to overcome their issues and their wounds and their pains. And so if you have someone in your community who's living with scars and who also need support, then please contact Scars to Star Initiative and let them know that you have someone that who's on their own, who's isolating, who's probably depressed, or who doesn't want to talk to anybody, who maybe just need a mentor to push them to the next level. Sometimes it only takes the help of one person to help someone succeed in what God has purpose for them. And as Dr. Deji said, purpose is what God has planned for all of us. And whether with scars, wounds, or pain, God has purpose for us to realize our gifting, our talents on this earth. And it is by His strength that we can execute it and do it. So I want to encourage you, if you know anybody who's gone through difficulties, who's gone through domestic violence, and who needs support, please contact Scars to Stars and help that person overcome their wounds and their pain. Dr. Deji will be available to advise and mentor, and his phone number will be on our page at the end of this program for you to contact them. They are on their website they also author a magazine where you can get help and advice on how to deal with your scars, but which is called Scars to Stars magazine. But you can find them on their website, www.scars2starsinitiative.com. You can also visit them on Facebook, Scars to Stars Initiative, and it's the same for Instagram, Stars to Scars Initiative. Give them a call and let them know of anything. They are more than willing to advise you, counsel you, and just be the person to help you push to the next level, whether it is to write a book, start a new career, go to university, or just to overcome bullying at your school. They are here to help you, and don't stay alone. Depression is one of those very big issues at the moment, and people are hiding behind doors. And Dr. Deji is asking you to come out and to speak to him about what you have been hurt, what you're hurting from, and is there to help you to come out of that depression and to look forward to the future, because God has a future for you. God has a purpose for your life. And this is what his testimony is in his book, Scars to Purpose. So get the book. It's available on Amazon.
Yeah, the book is available, yes. It's called From Pain
to
Purpose.
From Pain to Purpose.
And it's on Amazon. It's on www.scars2stars Initiative as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the more you support my book movement, the more you support people living with scars.
Yeah.
All right. So, you could get a copy from there. Thank you.
Okay. So, get the book on Amazon. Pain to Purpose, it's called. I'm going to get my copy as well. And so I hope that you are also going to get yours. Pain to Purpose, and help someone overcome their pain and their worries. We are here on Roundtable. We should be back next Saturday at the same time, 2 p.m. I am Remembrant Faith. Let me know of any program you have on that you want to discuss on our roundtable. Until next Saturday, I want you to stay safe. Remain at home unless you have a key work job like mine that makes you come to television on isolation during isolation time. But stay at home, stay safe, take care of your family, and remain under divine protection. God will watch over you if you are obedient. So be obedient and stay at home. I wish you all the best, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
you.